Welcome to episode 20. We've reached 20 episodes of the Racket podcast, where we discuss all things music and success in our fun corner of the world, helping to inspire, inform, educate, motivate, and keep hope alive for musicians, creatives, entrepreneurs, and anyone else who wants to grow their brand in the music or creative spaces. Today, we have NotMeghan, colloquially known as Meghan. She wrote that. She's a Denver-based DJ and a dentist by day, known for her deep and progressive house sets that take listeners on an emotional, melodic journey. Inspired by the John Digweed, she approaches every performance as both art and storytelling, the result of decades spent on the dance floor as field research, where the best research is done, frankly. With deliberate transitions and heartfelt curation, NotMeghan blurs genre lines and bridges discipline with emotion, carving a distinct space in the world of underground electronic music. I'm so excited to go deep with Meghan. Please welcome Meghan to the podcast.
Thank you.
I really, every time I say, I'm like, I got to get one of these for my own use at home. But
I think you just need the horn.
I got that too. Yeah. Please welcome Meghan.
You've seen a big one of those.
Please welcome Meghan to the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Amidst your busy schedule, you have a gig tonight that you're prepping for, and we got to make sure that you're out of here on time to do that. Tell us what's going on tonight.
I'm opening for Enamor at Vinyl on the Roof. Yeah. So
for those who don't know, because we have a global audience here, and they're not all DJs or into the electronic scene, so I'll give everybody a little quick backstory on how we met and why I wanted to have Meghan here today and chatting. So I moved to Denver about just over a year ago, and living with one of my really good friends. And shout out Ken, and we went to one of your shows at the old 1134 here in Denver, a fun little venue. I like that venue. And you were opening for Jeremy Olander, who over the years has become one of my favorite DJs. I love his productions. He's
great.
Yeah, he's awesome. And I don't always spend my time in that category of dance music, but when I do, I really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And you were the direct support on that night, and then Ken introduced us on the dance floor after, and you were super friendly, and then Ken tells me you're a dentist, and
I usually don't like people to talk about that.
I know we'll talk about that. Well,
now it's public information, so it's like, I have to own it.
You did put that in the first line of your bio, dentist by day. So.
Yeah, well, because if you ask ChatGPT, it already knows, so I have to kind of like...
Oh, was that written by ChatGPT?
No, it was written by me.
Okay.
But I double-checked it with ChatGPT.
Okay, there you go. So I had recently moved to the town, and I like to make sure my teeth are in good shape. And having never, lived in the city or in Colorado before, I needed a new dentist. So I was like, hey, should I go to your practice? And you said, yeah. And you're not there anymore, unfortunately, but I do go to your former employer, I guess. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
she's not there anymore either. So yeah.
Right, the practice.
The building which still exists that still sees patients.
Right. Yes, that is who I see to take care of my teeth.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But no, I really enjoyed your set and your music, and you had this very professional demeanor about you. I thought musically, the 1% of people in the crowd who are sitting there analyzing the transitions and the song selection.
I live for those people. I am those people. I'm doing that myself, and I'm trying really hard to act like I'm not. But when I'm back there, it's like it's kind of a struggle sometimes, because that's me at every show I go to.
Yeah, and it's funny too.
I hate that I'm that way, but I love that I'm that way. So I respect the people that are that way too.
Yeah, and so I had a chance to hear your music, and like I said, I really like it. I think it's a rare treat for me to go to see those kinds of shows, because the music I make and the music I DJ when I'm performing isn't typically that kind of stuff, and so it's almost like a guilty pleasure for me. And one of my favorite artists of all time, top 3 forever, is Eric Prydz, and Jeremy falls in that category, and you were direct support. You were opening for Eric and Jeremy.
That was crazy. That was like the biggest show of my life.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so you've basically established yourself as like the go-to first person that a lot of these promoters will call, it seems like, for when those types of artists come to town, right?
I mean, I like to think that I'm pretty heavily considered. I'm really happy with where I'm at. I mean, the fact that I get considered for so many big shows, whether all of them happen or not. I mean, I'm just somebody who followed this because I thought that it was missing from Denver, and I never really like thought it would take me to where it is now. And I just remember after the Eric Prydz show, I just cried because I had so many family and friends come into town, and when I got home, I cried and I was like, I can't believe like this happened. Like I feel fulfilled in a way that I never had before because Eric Prydz and his music changed my life. And so I was just thinking like I could stop doing this forever and be happy with what I've accomplished, or I could keep doing it to try to get better and you know, get other people into this music too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a crazy experience.
There's a button here for one of the, hold on. What? No.
That's probably not it.
Nope. None of those. There it is. Thanks for bearing with us in the soundboard here, but that is a great story. So I always like to get into kind of like how this evolved for you, where it started, when it started. You're from New York. You got that East Coast blood that I love as an East Coaster. But like, how did your journey start? When did your journey start? Tell us about that.
Like when I came to Denver or DJing?
Great question. So I guess more into the electronic music scene, DJing. Also, when did you come to Denver?
Right.
Yeah, tell us.
So I came to Denver about 10 years ago, but I didn't start DJing until about 5 or so years ago. Mostly it was just because I saw everything happening with COVID, and I was like, there's a good chance I'm not gonna be able to see like John Digweed DJ for a year or 2 years. And so I drove over to Mile High DJ, and I was like, what do you have right now that I can learn to DJ on while I inevitably don't have a job for the next 6 weeks? Because that's what was about to happen, right?
Yeah.
And everybody thought I was crazy. Well, a week later, when everybody else was trying to get stuff, and like they had sold out at the DJ store.
Yeah.
And the guy Kyle told me, he's like, I can't believe like the forethought you had. I was like, this was my worst nightmare. And I thought I had to bring the club to myself.
Yeah.
Which I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not quite as fun as being on the dance floor, but then I would like live stream for some of my friends, and they'd give me feedback. So it gave me something to do. And then I'm a dentist, and so we were out of work for a while. And I kind of I woke up at the same hours. I DJ'd, took the same lunch hour, got out of work at the same time. And so I treated it like a job, like I'm going to really learn this because I've always wanted to, but I never wanted it more than going out and seeing and being part of like the dance floor.
Yeah.
And then eventually it was really frustrating at first, but once it clicked, I was like, I love this. And I started recording stuff, and one of my friends gave one of my recordings to one of the promoters here, and he was basically like, here's your opportunity. I said, I'm not ready for a show. This is like, 2022 now. And he said, if you don't take it, I won't give you more opportunities. And I was like, okay, well, I guess like sometimes I do need the threat. Yeah. Because I would have chickened out.
Are you comfortable saying who that was? Or
it was Brennan. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, he knew me, and my music taste and everything from just being out in Denver for so long. And he's like, I wouldn't put you on if I didn't think you were ready. And he did that a few times. Like the first time was when I tried to chicken out of the show and say, I'm not ready yet. The second time was when he tried to put me on direct support. And I'm like, I'm not ready yet. And he said the same thing. Like, I wouldn't offer it to you if I thought you were going to mess us up. So just going to have like some blind faith.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, I mean, Brennan, shout out Brennan, goes by Option 4. I mean, he's been a staple in the Denver scene. Like I knew Brennan long before I moved here. Used to
he's a legend everywhere.
Everywhere, but like he puts people on, and he's like he has a pulse on the music scene, and not just one specific type. I mean, he knows. Yeah. And he knows the up and comers, and
he has a really good view on like cultivating a scene that I don't know that other cities like have like something similar. Yeah. And the way that he's given people opportunities, and then or kind of push people to do things that he knew they were capable of. Like, I really respect that.
Yeah, I think that's incredible. That's a great story because he pushed you because he knew you had it and you wanted it.
It's funny because I did not I would have just like sat on the wayside and been like, I'm happy with this, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been a few people putting fire under my ass that like made
we all need that. We got to surround ourselves with people like that, right?
Yeah.
Because if people recognize the skill and the talent in you and your aspirations, and the hardest part is taking that first step, right? And challenging yourself to do something new, get out of your comfort zone. I mean, DJing, it's not easy. Like DJing itself, you know, been doing it for so long where it's back in my hand, but like the actual process of getting on a stage in front of people and like putting together this journey and showing your art. I mean, you did it. So that's incredible. And that really just started your run of several years ago here in Denver. And I guess the sort of question was around like how you got into dance music in the beginning. Like what were those origins like?
When I was like 12 or 13, I started playing DDR. I was addicted to DDR.
So
and
for those who don't know, Dance Revolution, right?
Yeah.
Like if you ever used to go to arcades and like, I mean, that was, you get sweaty playing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was me and like all these Asian dudes. At Sports Plus
Long Island?
in Long Island.
Yeah.
Right across from the mall.
Shout out Sports Plus. Is that what you said?
Sports Plus.
Sports Plus. Shout out.
Yeah. It's not there anymore.
Where is the button? Is it
the horn?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and I just started like getting into it from there, and then illegally downloading on BearShare or LimeWire.
Don't tell people that.
Like Titanic techno remix.
Yeah. I think we're similar.
And getting some viruses while you're at that.
Yeah. I think we're similar age and background and in history of that stuff. Because I would go to my friends. We didn't. My family didn't have like a CD.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you mind if I move it?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We're keeping this in. Hey, with the owner...
the owner of a green Subaru.
Shit.
License plate number.
Oh, you got to move your car, but... Yeah, we got
somebody else can do it. Yeah.
Hey,
other people know how to drive cars to it.
Boo for the neighbor. Yeah, okay. Anyways, yes, I would like always want to do that same thing. Like, I don't know. I was downloading like the Matrix soundtrack. That was techno to me. And like going to a friend's house after school to burn CDs because my family didn't have a CD burner yet. You know, like like LimeWire and all those other programs.
The struggle.
Yeah.
Remember Hit Clips?
I don't actually.
Good. They're not very memorable.
That sounds like a place where I'd go to get my hair cut in a strip mall. Hit Clips.
Yeah. Maybe.
It's like great.
That's probably where it was born, the idea.
Okay. So you were exposed to electronic music via a video game in the form of Dance Revolution. Were you good at it?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to do it every day. I came home from school.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And so was that like, you did field research to learn how to DJ, but was that your field research and learning how to dance on the dance floor?
Oh my God, can you imagine if I danced like that on the dance floor? I don't think I'd make it very far in life if that was me.
You would need a lifetime supply of speed, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you go to most places in Europe look like that, to be honest.
Oh, I can't wait. I remember when I went to Berlin and I'm going to these techno clubs and there's like horse track techno playing and like everybody's dancing in the same like like they're running a marathon. Like
it's like a part of life I was never shown until it was too late to like not judge,
not part of the culture. No. Okay, so and then like you referenced Digweed as one of your favorite artists and inspirations. Like what was the bridge, from DDR to getting into that?
Yeah, that's a large bridge. It's a fair question. So DDR, that's a good question. I've never been asked that before.
First time. I was going to hit one of those. What? Yeah, first time on the Racket House podcast.
So I played DDR a lot, and then I went to college in Miami, and then I used to go to the clubs and stuff out there. The music really electronic music wasn't like a big thing in like across the U.S. yet.
What time frame are we talking?
Like 2010-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like it started kind of spreading to New York a little bit with like Pasha, and like when I would go home from college, I'd go to Pasha, and those are the days.
So you had Miami and New York, which are two hubs of clubbing and dance. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
And then when I went to dental school in Buffalo, there was nothing there, and I I didn't really know what to do with myself, to be honest. So I had to just like drive to Toronto or Montreal, or I would fly down to Miami or drive back to New York. So it kind of like depended on, okay, if I could get away for the weekend, if I don't have an exam, I'm going to go to this club or that club or whatever. Yeah. And then I kept traveling to see Eric Prydz. I mean, that was my number one. And I did, like, I read an interview once with Eric, and his biggest inspirations were Jeff Mills and John Digweed. And so I started looking up, like, who is Jeff Mills and John Digweed. And Jeff Mills is a little, very, like, good, right? Like, objectively good, but probably not really my speed for most things. Sure. And I thought Digweed was, like, a little interesting, slow, but I was like, I got to see both of these people in person. And I saw John Digweed at Ultra one year, and I don't remember why, but I just remember being mesmerized, like looking. It was in the Carl Cox tent, but it was during the day, and I remember looking around. I said to my best friend, I was like, "This music makes everyone look better." That's what it sounded like to me. And I'm just looking up at him like, and why does he look like that? But he's not dancing or anything, but he's just like, everything was so groovy. I'm like, I don't know why this like paradox, just like, I don't know. I felt encapsulated. He's one of the old heads that, he just kind of like, he's strictly business. Yeah. He does like a certain way. He doesn't really dance, If he's dancing, something's wrong. Which is always an interesting thing in the world of DJing, right? Like if the guy or girl up there is like not dancing, like how does that, there's a lot of opinions on that. I mean, I have my opinions too, because like I like to dance. But also, DDR, like, if I'm, if you see me back there doing that, please just stop the show. I don't know. I like to dance up there and groove a little bit. Yeah. Like, I think it's hard not to, but at the same time, when you're really focused on like what's coming next and you're thinking a couple tracks ahead, my brain will shut down and I can't dance now. Yeah. It's like, okay, it's not even a voluntary thing. So. Yeah, I know what you mean, because it's almost like a game of chess, especially if you have maybe 4 decks and you are kind of planning the set in advance. My opinion is I like to see energy, and I like to see, the DJ, the role of the DJ has kind of become like the maestro, like the conductor of the party, right? Like they used to be back in the corner, no spotlight, just like hidden away, but now they're front and center, the attention people. I like to see people dancing and having a good time and smiling. I think there should be a balance between actually doing something and the performatives are not necessary. I think they distract from the music. Yeah. But it is nice to see someone having a good time. I mean, of course, like you want to know that they're passionate up there. I think Digweed's like the outlier in that he is so passionate but doesn't know how to show it. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I think most people are somewhere kind of in between. But most people, there are a lot of people that are like, oh, you didn't even smile or whatever. I'm like, I really enjoyed the set, but I want some smiling. I want some hands up. I think the person that comes to mind the most is Marco Carolla, who, for those who don't know, and apologies to people listening to this if you have no idea what the dance world is like. There's, is he Italian? He's Italian. He's Italian. Yeah. He's this white. He shows how happy he is by smoking a pack of cigarettes at the same time. He shows up looking all badass. He could be a boxer, who knows? He's bald, white dude. He wears cut off black shirts and stuff, and he's got the most beautiful women in the world behind him, and he plays bangers. He plays great sets, but he doesn't move an inch. He's literally except just to light a cigarette. Yeah, or maybe someone does it for him, who knows? But he's badass. I think I may have seen a smile out of him when I was at Miami Music Week a couple years ago at Factory Town, and he had his music on party, and it was like sunrise, and it was him and Luciano and maybe one other going B2B, and like it had started raining at one point, and then the set was coming to an end, and they're all just kind of like buddy like arms around each other. I think that's when I finally got a little smile out of him, and it was a great time too, and like that smile's infectious. Yeah. So save it for the good times. Yeah. So okay. So Miami, did you go to the U? Or you did? I did. Yeah. Okay. So you went to the U. You're a Hurricane, and did you what were some of your favorite clubs in Miami back in the day? Space was the first club I ever went to. It was not the same space that today. The roof used to retract, and yeah, it was crazy. There was nothing else over there, so it was just like. It was pretty grungy, but then it was like they had all these like random rules, like you weren't allowed to wear sneakers.
Oh yeah.
So everyone would wear heels in and then
Yeah.
pack sneakers in their bag and just change.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Boston where there were bars where you couldn't even wear sneakers or hats or anything. It was so weird. And I went to college in Vermont, and the exact opposite of Miami. And we went to Miami for spring break. I remember my senior year, we go to spring break in Miami, and I'm dressing like I'm going to a bar mitzvah because I don't know how to act in the club scene in Miami. And like I have like, and for those who don't know what that means, it's like I'm wearing like a button, like a dress shirt button down, tucked into khaki
Do
pants.
they think you work there?
No, they looked at me. No, they literally looked at me and they're like, no. They're
Try
like,
again,
no,
yeah.
So I'm like, this is like, for those who know me now and didn't know me back then, like it's a complete metamorphosis, I guess.
We all had to go through that, though.
Yeah.
Rite
So,
of
like,
passage for a while.
Just trying to figure out how to get into clubs in Miami and what that whole scene was like. But did have, I guess, a bit of a common thread in the Montreal part, because we'd go up from Burlington, Vermont, an hour and a half to Montreal, but still before my clubbing days. So we never went to like, what is it, New City Gas and
Yeah, was stereo there?
Stereo. I mean, they probably were, but I was 18 and 19 years old because we went there because we could drink before we drink legally.
You didn't know what those were yet. Yeah.
So Miami was like my introduction into that world, but really still very new. And then I, got into dance music. I went to Australia, which really exposed me to dance music. That was my study abroad year. And so I went to Australia and I got exposed to all this dance music and stuff. It was indie rock and dance music, and Lady Gaga Poker Face was played every single place we went. And then I get back to the States for my senior year of college, and my friends were like, what happened to you down there? Because I'm just listening to like
Lady
Above
Gaga.
and Beyond. Well, yes, I'm a Lady Gaga fan. Guilty. I came back.
Wait, what part of Australia were you in?
I studied at University of Queensland, which is where Brisbane, outside of Brisbane. So like not one of the sexier cities of like Sydney and Melbourne, but had a really unique, we could spend hours talking about this, but I had a very unique experience living on campus among the Australians. We dressed in robes and it was like Harry Potter. I'm not kidding. Like, ask me about it some other time. But it was telling, this is real. Like, off camera, my girlfriend, she's shaking her head. She's like, yeah, it's I've shown her the footage. Like, we would wear robes and we'd eat all together amongst our, they called it a college, but it's almost like a school, right? There's 4 schools in Harry Potter world. There's like, I don't know, maybe
Gryffindor.
Yeah, but I was in St. John's College. It was for the smart kids,
heck?
believe it or not. I was like considered one of the smart kids. Yeah. Slytherin. And yeah, we would like live in the dorms all together. There was, in my college, I was one of like 4 Americans who were studying abroad. The rest were Australians. We'd eat together. We'd live together, play sports against the other colleges together. And this was a very traditional college within the university where there was like, there was things called puke jousting that I got to witness, which is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's like 2 people.
Sounds like you had really.
There was a lot of partying. The drink of choice was
Mature.
bagged wine. Boxed wine is called goon because Australia taxes the shit out of alcohol, except for the boxed wine and the beer. So you buy like a 4-liter thing of wine for like $20 and you're pre-gaming with it. You're slapping the bag. It tasted good until it didn't. And then you mix it with like soda or juice.
What a cultural experience.
Let me tell you, man.
Such a worldly person now.
I'm 21, and I'm 21 at the time, and there's freshmen who are 18 just passing out drunk everywhere, and like I'm the mature one within these, grounds and stuff. But they did a lot of hazing, freshers. They called me Seppo John, which Australians abbreviate everything, short for septic tank, because Americans are full of shit. So it's actually kind of a clever thing, but long story long, exposed to a lot of dance music over there, and I came back my senior year of college in Vermont, where I'd been listening to like some stuff. My taste had changed. Like I got into Deadmau5, I got into Pretty Lights. My buddy played me the Daft Punk Alive album, but also like Fish and Dave Matthews Band and hippie stuff. And I was listening to like Above and Beyond Trance Around the World podcasts and radio shows and all this other stuff. My friends were like, what happened to you over there? And that gave birth to me, after college getting a DJ. I don't need to tell my story. Why am I telling my story? I just want to level with you a little bit here. So, okay, so
It's a much cooler story than mine.
no, you have great stories. Aren't you friends with John now? Like, did you guys develop a relationship?
Yeah. I mean,
John Digweed.
You show your face enough, and eventually, you know, people are like, well, are you a stalker? You know,
Your fangirl.
I was like, I mean, I can see why you think that, but just
so okay. So you see him live for the first time at Ultra in Miami, which is one of the biggest electronic festivals in the world. And like, was that it for you? He's like, oh my God, he's my number one now. And
I mean, it was kind of one of those things. So Eric Prydz, his music changed my life, and then that introduced me to John Digweed, and then it just introduced me to so many other like DJs and kind of different styles, slightly different styles. And so if I liked it, I just kind of pursued going to more and more. And then you start meeting people on the dance floors. And so then eventually, you know, you kind of just resonate with certain like, you know, dance floors. And every time I went to like that type of like Digweed or Sasha or Hernan, like it was just always just such good vibes and people just effortless conversation and people were like behaving themselves. And
you're talking on the dance floor?
Yeah, it's very controversial, I know.
No.
But yeah, you know, like you just meet people and you know that they're the same vibe as you. So it's like
your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just kept going to more and more. And I mean, the music is so good, and it's kind of one of those things that like I could go to that wherever it was and completely just forget anything else. Like the music like really had me, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just kept going.
Hell
you
yeah.
know?
So what's the like furthest you've traveled for either a Prydz show or Digweed show or one of these other guys that you
everywhere.
Or coolest place you've seen?
Coolest place.
Most unique place. You've gone out of the country?
Yeah. I was well, I mean, I go out of the country just for like I've done it for Carl Cox, like any of like John Digweed, any of these like big shows that it's like, wow, this is like a unique thing.
Yeah.
I will always go to Stereo for John Digweed because that's just like, in my opinion, the best club in the world, the best sound system in the world,
Montreal, yeah.
and the best DJ in the world. And so it's really special every time. I never will miss it. I told work once that it was a religious event. They didn't even know what it was. I just said, this is a religious event every year.
Yeah.
And it's like Victoria Day in Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I like this summer I went to Balance in Croatia, and that was just a collection of just progressive house DJs, and it felt like everybody was friends already. And Balance actually is Australian. There's a bunch of Australians there, and they're super cool. I would love to go there and like experience it there because they just seem like so like into the music in a way that people don't get it here, you know? But yeah, in Europe, it was great. I mean, it's just so chill and like nobody has like a care in the world really. The festival's on the beach. Guy J was playing at sunrise. It was just like, it was perfect, you know?
That's great.
So,
yeah. Balance. I discovered an old CD booklet of mine, and I had been sent an old Balance mix CD, like compilation.
Yeah.
Because I was doing the blog thing, and people would send me music to listen to, and yeah, I actually saw that you posted on your story about next year.
Yeah,
I think,
I'll never miss it if I have the chance.
Yeah, Croatia is a special place, and I think partying in Europe absolutely is very different. I was having a text conversation with my buddy Lefty, DJ out of New York, and we're talking about like we're going to ADE, right? And you're going to ADE, and for those who don't know, Amsterdam Dance Event in Amsterdam in a couple weeks, where it's one of the biggest music conferences and events in the dance world every year. And we're like, we get sucked into the genre debate and the genre discussion, and like tech house in America versus tech house in Europe, and I'm like, I
can't be more bothered by it. Like it's like, I wish everyone would just go to what is good music. That's it.
Absolutely.
It's like, why does everyone have to fit in this box, you know?
Yeah, he mentioned one of this artist that I really love, his Cassim, Cassimm, and he makes this sort of like funky jack-in house music that is very approachable. It's not crazy tech house that you hear in the States with like heavy drops and stuff. It's got groove. Very well produced. He puts out. I always hear more and more music by him every day. And I said something along the lines of like, yeah, he's not like not like a big DJ, or I wish he was bigger, or he should be bigger, I think is what I said. And he goes, he's pretty big. And I'm like, not here in the States. And that like opened up the conversation, you know, to be like this sort of debate, which is true because I think other cultures do it differently. And I think, yeah, like dance music, you know, getting big in America was almost like the last country to really embrace it, despite us, I guess, supposedly starting house music and techno and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just weird because I think like in Europe too, I mean, and maybe you can speak to Australia a bit too. I've only ever really seen it in Europe. Asia doesn't seem to have much of a scene at all. But in Europe, it's like such a part of their life. Yeah. You know, like the kids are listening to it. Like you walk into like a pharmacy, a restaurant, like a museum, and there's like some type of house music on where it's like literally heaven for someone who wants to hear it all day. Yeah. But you here, it's like, well, why are you listening to that music? You know, and it's like it's so like stigmatized almost. And I'm like, why does it have to be like that? Like, why is it such a part of their life where they can just listen to this in different ways, shapes, and forms? Where for us, it's like, oh, you have to go to this club or you have to go to this city, or it just is like very like fragmented here. I don't get it. I never will. I wish I could live over there and like experience it just day to day, because I don't want to always have to go to a loud club to listen to good music. Right. If there was like some, you know, like lounge type something happening like in Europe, this happens at ADE where the DJs will play like in a hotel lobby, and it's not a huge thing. There's not even a ton of speakers, but here's a big DJ just playing on a sidewalk or at the train station, or pop-up things that just happen. Like the whole city of Amsterdam turns into basically like a living art piece of house music for that whole week. And that's why I love it, because you can like take yourself out and put yourself back in wherever you want. It's not like you have to be at a certain place. You have to be like, you know, going to a club or drinking or being around all these people who are on, you know, a ton of drugs. You could just be out to breakfast and here's a DJ playing as you're just having a nice meal.
Let's normalize it.
You know?
Or, you know, it's like Burning Man. Just go to Burning Man. You'd hear that for a whole week.
I did go to Burning Man, and that's why I'll never go back. I went during the flood. Oh. I had a terrible time.
You had a good first experience.
Then last experience, yeah.
Yeah, well, I can DJ at your dental office if you want. You know, we can just put on some nice back. Like, what kind of music do you play when you're doing the teeth thing? Wait,
First
hold
of all,
on. Which button do I want? Laugh random. Let's see.
Yeah, that one was perfect. I think you just got lucky there.
No, I wrote down. Okay.
What is that even called?
Well, that was in the random column.
Okay. So you got lucky. That's what you're saying.
Is that Coldplay?
It sounds like clocks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So is that the kind of music you play when you're?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, first of all, I don't play anything. I used to play like Eric Prydz or like just like I made like a curated playlist once, and I think I was so excited about it, and within the first day I had a complaint from a patient. So I was like, okay, I don't need to hear more complaints from these patients. I just don't. No. I hear enough. And
you're fucking with people's teeth.
Yeah,
like,
they don't want to say anything good in the first place. So like, let's not piss them off with the music, or at least have it not be my fault, right? So I put on like it was very benign. It was like very early stage, like Eric Prydz, like just not like big room anything.
The older deep cuts.
Yeah, and they said, "What is this, a Vegas pool party?" And I was like,
"We can make it wet in here."
I was just like, whatever.
You should have thrown water and be like, "It is now."
Spray on my water from my drill. And so I was like, "Oh, sorry, I'll turn off." I pretended I didn't put it on. I was like, "Can you go turn off this music?" To my assistant.
Like, describe the person. Like age, gender.
Old man.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably
how
what
old? 70s?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pretty much picture who it was, even though you don't know him.
Bald?
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, not happy about it, you know, and then it used to be that like if I was like having a bad day or in a bad mood, my assistants would turn on like John Digweed, and I would say like, you got to turn this off. This is now I don't want to do my job. You know, like this is not
this is my
conducive to like me doing things.
Yeah.
And then, so now I don't put anything on at all. But people ask me, what do you want to hear?
Silent office?
No. They put it on.
Oh, but you don't control what's on? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I never will. Because
Okay,
you
so
know what? It's not worth somebody complaining and having it be my fault.
what are we, yeah, you can't take
They
the
don't like
negative.
my music.
We don't like the negative Yelp reviews.
No.
Yeah.
They really just don't like my music.
what are we playing
It's happened to me
instead?
more than...
Shania Twain?
That would be better than what they put on. A lot of Taylor Swift. I don't know. So, I mean, sometimes it's fine. You know, actually, there's been times that I'm like, oh, wow, like this is, there's like a siren in some random song and I'll like Shazam it and I'll take it back with me and I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this one day.
Siren? Nope. Wrong button.
Yeah, I was like, I don't understand the joke.
Me neither.
But,
well,
yeah,
that's
so
disappointing because I did go to the a cleaning the other day.
Yeah.
Not your former place, but a different one, and there was nothing. I've started bringing AirPods with me to cleanings.
Yeah.
Because
as you should. I appreciate that. When
I
people
don't
do that.
like I don't know if there's anyone who likes going to the dentist, but the sounds that are coming out of there are like jarring. So I put on like calming deep house relax music and stuff. So I'm glad we talked about that. That was really my main question was what do you plan?
It's more of like me just trying not to get in trouble for putting something on. Or a lot of times I'll be like, can you turn this off? And I find that patients connect with me best when I'm like, hey, like, this is terrible music.
Yeah.
And they're like,
you bond over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd rather it not be my own than I'm making fun of.
I will say, look, I mean, we don't like the bad eggs, the bad apples, whatever we call them these days, ruining it for everybody else. Like, I think like there's a parallel that I'll draw here is like, you know, going on a hike and playing music like in your little Bluetooth speaker and like, again, she's laughing off camera because we just got back from this 2-week trip where we're doing hiking every day and I have my little Bluetooth with me, scare away the bears. And
what if the bears like that music though?
Then let's boogie. At least they won't eat me, hopefully. But I don't do it at an obnoxious level, in my opinion. And I'm getting confirmation that it's not obnoxious. And so we will pass people either on going the same direction or opposite direction. And I'd say 90% of the people who react are the ones who are like, oh man, I wish I had my speaker, or like, yeah, good music, blah, blah, blah. And then there's like the one Karen who we encountered that I'll try to keep this quick, but like we're literally
legal action.
Yeah, we're in a meadow you had a hike to this. Like this, like we're past the viewpoints and stuff. Like we're on a hike and we're going one direction and this group is coming the other direction of middle age and I think some young kids. I don't remember the kids, but I just remember Karen and she's like, I have this little Bluetooth. It's literally a little Bluetooth thing, and she's like, "Hey, is that a radio?" She stops to talk to me. Is that a radio? And
what, is she a time traveler? Or what if she doesn't know what a radio is?
She goes, "Is that a radio?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a Bluetooth speaker. Just play music." She's like, "Do you really need noise up here?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" And then like we proceed to have a passive-aggressive discussion about like how people come up here to escape the noise and blah blah blah, and I'm like, there's nobody around. Like if you hadn't stopped to talk to me,
she's contributing to the noise at that point too.
She could have heard it for about 5 to 10 seconds in passing and then never would have heard it again, but instead she chose
created
to stop.
more noise in arguing with you.
And then I said to her, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Hook, line, and sinkum.
I also did say it's to keep the bears away, and she goes, "There's no bears up here. There's people."
You're welcome. That's what you should have said.
Look, it all happened so fast. It all happened so fast.
You don't want to know what this place looked like before I brought my Bluetooth.
It all happened so fast, and I was so triggered. And like, I'm respectful of people. I turn it down if I'm in a group or stopping.
I turn it up if I see a bear.
I turn it up if I see a bear. Actually, we did encounter a bear, and I'm pretty convinced on a separate hike. And I'm pretty convinced that the fact that I had music playing and we were chatting contributed to the bear with 2 cubs, by the way.
Yeah.
Which,
wow. Yeah.
On the trail.
Yeah.
I think she knew we were coming, hopefully, so there was no major incident. But all right, so back to you.
So next time, you just got to tell people bears are like America's greatest threat. Just say that. Nobody knows what to respond.
We were in Canada.
Okay, well, you might have to reword that. You can still say it's America's greatest threat.
Karen, can I get your info? I want to send you a care package.
Have her on the podcast next.
Yeah, and I'm going to send her a mix CD of John Digweed tracks and Eric Prydz.
So much noise.
And make her listen to it while she's at the dentist.
Sounds like a lot of people's personal hell.
Okay, so you start learning how to DJ in the COVID times. Mile High Supply Company. What'd you buy from them, by the way? Did you get CDJs?
No, I got a DDJ.
DDJ controller.
1000, yeah.
1000. Why not the 1001?
I don't know. I didn't know anything about anything. He was just like, here, you want this? I said, that looks like I can learn something on it. Like, I don't know.
Funny side note, I didn't know that they actually sell stuff. I thought they were just a DJ meme account.
Isn't that funny? Because
Yeah.
I was like, I have bought like all of my equipment from them.
Yeah.
Like my CDJs, my mixer now, like just my speakers, everything. And then one day on like Instagram, I saw a funny meme and I was like, oh, that's a funny page. I should go to it. I followed it and I had already been following it. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. This is like a totally new like guerrilla marketing. Okay.
Look.
To each their own, but they were already doing a good job before that.
Okay, so Mile High DJ Supply is the name. Shout out Mile High DJ Supply.
They're great.
In Denver. But yeah, I had been sent memes because I'm a DJ. Sent memes from this account from friends before even moving to Colorado. And literally, like I said, I just thought they were a meme account because there's meme accounts. And then I go to the MK show in Denver last year, whenever it was. And I see the CDJs just have a Mile High DJ.
Oh, that's
Supply.
how you figured it out.
That's how I was like, oh, they sell stuff.
Yeah. No, they're really cool people over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so with an account like that. You should be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're learning how to DJ. Get your first gig thanks to Brennan, and that gig was, what was the gig?
Hannes Beeger. He's on
Hannes
Bedrock.
Beeger. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, which is Digweed's label. And where was that?
It was at Bar Standard.
Cool.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe like 60 or 70 of my friends showed up. That was cool. And it was a Thursday night, but I think everyone just like knew it was like really special for me. And that was really cool. It was a good feeling, but it was like very nerve wracking leading up to it. I'm like, oh, do I really want to do this? You know?
Of course.
No, it was great. I had so much fun.
Yeah. You catch a high.
Yeah. And I felt like almost like a level of accomplishment that I was like, I always knew I wanted to do this. I never thought it would actually like come into fruition. And, and so I just felt like really just kind of like it was like a proud moment, you know?
Absolutely. So, and then you kept it going. So that was 22, you said? Mm-hmm. So 3 years since then. And so I guess what has that journey been like? Because like I said, when I moved here a year ago, you just seemed like the go-to for this, category. And for those who don't know, Denver is and I've told friends this, Denver is a huge music city. Like it's not LA, it's not Miami, it's not Vegas, it's not these bigger cities from a population perspective, but holy shit, the amount of music that comes through here. We have one of the greatest venues in the world, Red Rocks, like all that stuff. And this is a surprise to a lot of people who don't know that. But I think that, and you can speak to this, house music is not the biggest, I'd say, genre here.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Right.
But I think there actually is a statistic that we are the biggest music city, or maybe it might be us in Nashville, like even adjusting for the population.
Right.
We
per
have
capita
more
kind of thing.
Yeah, we have more events that happen here.
More so it's from an events volume of events basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And attendance at events.
And okay, what source are we citing on that one?
Myself right now, but I can get back to you on that.
Myself. Okay, cool. I'll go check that out.
I remember like seeing it and thinking like, how could that be true? And I like cross-checked it, and it was several places. Yeah.
So, but then, so house, like I referenced before we were talking, I played this, this institution that no longer exists, where it's like 4 rooms of music, and I was in the house room, and that was not where the most people were. They were in the drum and bass and dubstep room, and because the bass capital is basically Denver. But house is growing here, but within the house scene, progressive and deep house and stuff like that has its own little community, right? And so you're obviously a part of that community, not just as a fan, but as somebody who's leading the movement, I'd say, right? Or at least from a DJ perspective, you're like known in that space.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like leading the movement. I mean, it just seems like it's a nice little community of people. And I think if you put in like the work and you have the ear for it, like people will give you the opportunities to keep going.
So what is the work? Like what's been your strategy over these last 3 years to grow your name, your brand in this space to get the calls, you know, to have the offers?
You know, it's kind of crazy because I've talked to people about this, and like a lot of people like put their names out there, send stuff to people. I like never really did that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, not that I didn't want to, I just didn't really know that you were supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so I think my biggest thing has just been, pretty much just when I have a set, thinking about like what room am I playing in, who do I think's going to be there, who am I opening for, like what are the parameters for that, how long is my set, what time is my set at, and going from there. And I think for me, I can put, like, because I've been on the dance floor so much, and I can put myself on the dance floor in those like instances and think, what would I want to hear, and so like for like an opening set obviously is like different than a direct support and everything.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been loving the opening, because it almost feels like you have to set such a vibe. You have so much control over like what people are doing at that point. Like it's really fun to watch people just slowly start to move, or slowly gravitate from like the bars onto the dance floor. And
I will say, just to interrupt, I was getting mad at people for talking during your set. I was like,
and they're gonna do that when they get there. And plus, a lot of my friends came, and so it's like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I was just like, I want to like.
Everybody knew
this.
each other.
Yeah. Did I have to tell you to shut up? No, sorry, off camera. Yeah, 3 times. Well, also, I was also mad at the venue because the volume, in my opinion, wasn't loud enough.
Well, for openers, I think they just try to keep it a little lower.
I understand that, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you know, that's just kind of what they have to do.
I know, I've been around long enough to know, but I just still didn't like it. I want to feel it, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, so...
Well, as soon as they came on, I mean, I thought the sound was like really good when they came on.
It was good. Yeah, that venue, I mean, we'll talk about that in a sec. Okay, so your focus, you like the opening set because you're really setting the tone for the night.
Yeah, I mean, in that instance, I started at like 117 BPM, which is like really slow for what I normally like to play, but then to like gradually build it up, and almost like the way I used to describe it until that night was I like to feel like I'm putting fog in the room, but there was so much fog in that room already that I have to find a different way to describe that night in particular. But yeah, I just like getting like a groove going that's like it's kind of subtle, you know. Anyway, what was the original question? I totally forgot.
No, we're transitioning as DJs do, and that actually, I mean, that does remind me of your influences, right? Like the people that you like, the Pridzes, the Digweeds, the Sashas. Like, if you go to a 5-hour Sasha set, I haven't seen them together, but I remember going to a 5-hour Sasha set in San Francisco, and it like took a little time to burn. It was a slow burn, you know, like you're building into that.
Depends on what night you get Sasha, yeah.
That's true. Yes, and how long the set is, of course, too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, so the show we're referencing is last Saturday. You were direct support for some artists that I'm a really big fan of. Like I talk about that sort of like guilty pleasure. I'm not always spending time in that realm, but like Sébastien Léger.
Yeah, who knows? I'm not French.
And Roy Rosenfeld, who combined are called Lost Miracle. And I listen to Sebastian's podcast, monthly radio show called Lost Miracle, and it is like my escape. It's like
it's so happy and nice.
It's so nice, and like what I love about their music is it can go super melodic, vibey, feel good, lift you out of your seat, or they can drop some hammers too, which was really fun. And out of the gate, Saturday they dropped some hammers, but
yeah, I was surprised by that. I loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome. So you got the call for that show, and anything out of the ordinary?
No, the Whirling Dervish guys, they were like, "Hey, what are you doing October 4th?" And I said, "I'm going to Lost Miracle. So unless this is about that, I'm not available."
Was it a phone call?
It was a text.
And
then I had to wait a couple hours for him to respond.
Oof.
And I'm like, well, I really don't care. Like, I want to go to Lost Miracle. I'm not going to put me playing some like random show over me going on a dance floor I want to be on. That's field research, right?
I love that. Yeah.
So, then he was like, no, I want you to open for Lost Miracle. I said, I'd love to.
Yeah. And like, that's one of those promoters who I don't really know. You know, I see their shows around, and I think they generally hover in that that realm, right? Like
Yeah.
the deeper progressive side of things. Did they put on Guy J? Were they?
They put on Guy J like I guess that was like a year and a half ago. They just put on Sasha and Digweed a couple weeks ago. They've got Hernan and
You were on Sasha and Digweed?
I went.
You went.
Oh, I'll never be on a show like that.
Why? Why
No,
not?
I think I'd freak out. No, I would short circuit for sure.
All right. Well, what? Don't meet your heroes, accept you're friends with your heroes. But so you got the call. They said, and you said immediately yes, or did you? Oh, I got to check my calendar. No, you already told me you're going.
Oh yeah, my cards are on the table already.
Awesome. And so, how much like notice did they give you? How many weeks?
2 weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah, maybe a little less.
Couple
I
weeks.
think it was 2 weeks.
And then does the set prep start immediately? Or
No, it's so different for every show for me.
Yeah.
The set prep for my set tonight will start like as soon as I get home. You know.
I'm gonna keep you here a little longer. So no, I'm kidding.
But like for example, like Eric Prydz, I knew about that. Well, I didn't know about that. Like, okay, so I kind of knew that my name was in there, and then there was like a lot of back and forth with like whatever teams were involved about like, do they need an opener or what are they going with a local opener or whatever? And then I never heard anything back, and then
this was 120 and AG.
Yeah, and I think it was like communication with like Eric's team. It wasn't
because they also had Jeremy on that show. Jeremy,
so I think he hadn't figured out what he wanted to do like for the tour yet, if they were going to even have local openers at all. And so we just weren't hearing anything back. And then eventually, AP from 128 called me. He's like, "Are you sitting down? They want you to do 7 to 9 p.m." I was like, "What?" And now this is that was like
and he's a huge Eric Prydz fan too.
Yeah, well, that's how I met him too. Is on an Eric Prydz dance floor, and so that's probably why like I got that too. You know, because like he knew that I knew what to do and how much this meant to me. Like I could like, there's no way in my life that I would let myself like mess that up.
And that's when those in-person connections and those human moments like are the strongest and the most important, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I think I had like maybe like a week or two being I knew I was confirmed for maybe about a month, and then I was told about the 7 to 9 p.m. maybe like a week before. So I found out through a friend of a friend who worked at Mission Ballroom. It just was like, you know,
and 7 to 9 being significant because that's a longer set time than you expected. Or
they said to me that it could have been from anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe an hour and a half, and so they're like, plan accordingly. Which I mean, a 30-minute set, like every 30 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours, all of that prep looks like so different. Anything after 2 hours, probably. Oh, preparation for sets. That's what we're talking about. Okay. How do you prepare? What does that look like?
All right. Well, put those. And we're back after technical difficulties. Let's go. So I don't know how this is going to sound after, but yeah, we're good here. We're back. We're talking about, I think, set prep. I guess, seeing you last week, I've seen you play multiple times, but it was really cool to it was an early set. You definitely built up the energy, and then the headliner was playing like a 4-hour set, right? So you were the only opener, and so you had a big responsibility in your hands. And yeah, like the set, like how do you prep for something like that versus maybe other shows, other headliners musically? Does that impact it? And then you told me that there was a little bit of chaos because the headliner flight delayed, then it wasn't delayed, and you had to like stay professional as a pro, make sure, like what's that like? What's going through your head? I
mean, it's kind of like, it's anxiety inducing for sure. Cause you don't want to you want to be able to like plan at least a few tracks ahead so that you know when to wrap it up or bring the energy down before they come on. Or if you need to kind of build another like arc in there or whatever. But, yeah, at first they told me that they're going to be stuck in the customs line, and then I might have to play 3 hours, and then all of a sudden it was only an extra 5 minutes. It just kept going back and forth. But I think for me, like I only really accept the shows that like really fit me. And so what I end up doing is kind of talking myself out of like a panic attack. And just being like, well, I have the library for this regardless. Yeah. And I'm the only one that's overthinking this right now, and there's been a lot of those shows where I'm like freaking out and I'm like, well, I know I have this library, and even if these aren't like, I could pull from other, crates and whatever, and it would blend just fine.
Yeah, I think that comes with experience, right? And comes with being a professional. And like again, we were talking before this, like there's certain gigs where I'm like, okay, I have 15 years of music that I can pull from for something like this, versus a show like I'm playing tomorrow night where I'm like, I'm going to be very detailed in my set prep. But like ultimately you never know. I remember going to see a friend DJ years ago, I think probably before I even started, or maybe as I was starting. He's like, yeah, I didn't get to like half the tracks I wanted to play. And like, you don't really know what that means until you see it in action.
Until you start doing that.
Or if you start doing it. Yeah. Well,
it's like what I was telling you earlier. Like sometimes a prep for me just looks like there's 4 or 5 tracks like for a 2-hour set that if I don't hear them, I'm not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that I figure out kind of like where I'd want to play those in the set. And those are kind of like my bench markers, and then just kind of fill in the gaps from there, like live, depending on what people want. But if it's like a really big show and I know I'm going to be anxious up there, I might have like a little bit more of like a fine-tuned list of what I would do, just to have something.
Yeah.
Because if I freak out, I want to know that I have something like in my back pocket to kind of get me out of that anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that before. I'll like, if there's certain shows or whatever, I might practice and then practice. And then write down maybe like the first 3 to 5 songs that I want to play, because I know they work well together, and then just like let it rip. But you mentioned something actually that I think is really important. You mentioned taking shows that only fit your sound and your vibe. And I think that's a very popular discussion topic around, I think, artists in general, no matter what you do or what you do, but especially for DJs, because it's DJing is just a whole different thing compared to like being in a band or being a singer or whatever, because like, these young bucks, they want to take whatever gig they can get and they're offered, but the real professionalism comes when you actually start to say no to things, or you only take gigs that positively impact the longevity of your career, like your long-term goals. So I think that's a really good thing that you say, and again, just goes back to your professionalism, right? And so, what are a couple of things I want to cover before we wrap up, but like, what are some of your longer term goals? Like, how do those things look? You're laughing. Why are you laughing?
Well, it's funny because I never thought I'd be here. Like, I never. So I had one goal in the beginning, and that was to play a club.
Okay. That's achievable.
And I did. Yeah. And so, but then after that, it was like, well, what was my next goal?
Yeah.
I think that in my mind, I said like way early on, if I ever got the opportunity to open for Eric Prydz, open for John Digweed, or play at Stereo, which are all complete pipe dreams, but hey, I made one of them happen.
But hold on, you just said if you were offered the John Digweed opening slot,
I really don't know if I could.
Yes, you could.
I really don't know. Like, I would need a lot of Xanax or something.
Whatever it takes.
I would be freaking out. Like, I'd have to be doing breath exercises or something. I don't even do that now, but I have to start.
Yeah.
I don't know. I told myself that in the beginning, like as goals, but they weren't like, it didn't feel like a real goal. But it's crazy that I got to open for Eric, because it wasn't like something that I really thought would happen,
sure.
And so it was such a dream come true to do it that it was like extra special.
Yeah.
But like, I can't foresee myself ever being like a big full-time DJ. I don't think that would be the life I want. Like, I like having my routine at home, and I do actually like dentistry sometimes.
And you have a thriving TikTok account with your dog.
Yeah, me and my dog, we have a job together, so I can't leave him.
You got a job to do.
Yeah, so I really enjoy my life at home, so I don't really, I don't want to take from that. And again, like, I still want to be a fan on the dance floor. That is what keeps me going. Like, if I stop going out to these things for my own like sake, I also lose the inspiration to DJ. I've noticed that too. And so like this last summer, I didn't do any shows, past, I think June was my last show, all the way up till like September. And I just went and traveled and, went to different shows, and then I came back more inspired.
Yeah.
I like the balance I have now. Like, I don't think I would, so I don't have a goal of being like a famous, DJ or touring all the time or anything. Would it be cool to go to other places and play and like have that be like a tax write-off? Yeah, of course. Or would it be cool to make some tracks that get released? Yeah, but I mean, like there's some people who like almost like check off like a list of like, okay, I'm on this label, I'm on that label, and whatever. Like to me, that's cool. Like, but there's so much politics in that, and if I'm gonna produce music and take time out of my day to do that, it's gonna be for like what I think would sound good on like the dance floor and fit into one of my sets, not because I think this is the formula for this label or whatever. Like,
well, I mean, that's a whole separate conversation, but the good thing is that these days you can release music on your own without anybody telling you what to do or how to do it. And you make music for yourself because you're the artist, and if people like it, great. What I always tell artists is there's 8 billion people in the world. There's going to be somebody who fucks with your stuff. And, like, I put out a song as a joke. I put out a couple songs as jokes that people actually have, liked. I literally put out a song called Childless Cat Ladies last year, quoting a politician, and, like people are like, oh, I got this for a warehouse set in Chicago, and I'm like, really? And I had somebody, I put it on Bandcamp for Name Your Own Price, and somebody actually paid for this song the other day, and I was like, what? Really?
What did they pay?
Don't worry about it, but they paid money.
More than $0.
More than $0 and 0 cents. Yes, so I think that's cool. I think I did want to ask you about playing in other cities, states, countries. I mean, you're playing at ADE, which is your tax write-off. Great, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
How did that come about? And how do you think? Couple part question. I shouldn't do this, but couple part question. So, okay, how did that come about?
I'm try to keep track of them.
How did it come about? Do you get offers to play in other places besides Denver consistently? And how do you think about, because you said, yeah, sure, would I like to play? Like, would I like to travel and DJ? Sure. Like, when I go to places, I love traveling too. I think I always retroactively think, oh, I should try to get some gigs while I'm here,
Yeah.
But I don't as much. So ADE, how did that come about?
Well, I have a radio show with this like UK based old heads. They're super cool guys. Like Digweed, Sasha, like all that kind of like old stuff. It's called Saturo Sounds, and they have an ADE party every year. So this is my third one playing with them.
You have a show with them consistently?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
where do I hear it? Where do we hear it?
SaturoSounds.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do that how often with them?
Every month.
You do it every month.
Yeah.
Is it a mix? It's
just a mix of the month. Yeah.
Okay, so you're putting together a mix for them, and they put it out every month?
It live streams on Thursdays.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So
third Thursday of every month.
How'd you get connected with them?
Just through people here who knew people there, and then they send me a mix, and I sent it, and they said, okay, when do you want to do your show?
Seems like your mixes are doing well, because that got you your first gig, that got you the radio show, that got you the ADE stuff.
Well, it's kind of like your resume, I guess, but so... Yeah, and then as far as other cities go, I'm like you, where it's like, going back to what I was saying before about some,
like me.
well, you retroactively, you're like, oh, maybe I could have, and that would have been fun, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, sometimes you just want to go and have like a good time and not have to worry about, should I bring my computer, all my gear, my USBs, all this. Like, I still do bring my USBs with me places because you just never really know. Like one time I ended up playing it on the beach in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Because they needed a DJ.
Yeah.
And it was fun, but am I going to go out of my way to try to like disrupt my travel plans? If I have like time off of work, usually I have to plan my days out. I can't just like up and cancel things just to play to people who don't necessarily like the music that I play is the other thing too,
Yeah.
So it has to be a pre-planned thing, but I'm usually not sending out a ton of just like cold call, like, oh, book me for this or that, because like that you don't know what you're walking into either.
Right.
And I don't want to do this unless I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm not trying to ruin my passion for the music. I'm just having fun with it. So if I find that it's getting in the way, I will stop.
Yeah.
And so if I'm putting out cold calls and then I end up like playing at this club with like a bad sound system, bad crowd, these people aren't like educated on this type of music, well, why am I doing that?
For the gram.
Who cares? That gives me anxiety anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to post about it.
Yeah.
You do more, you have to post about more.
I've done the cold email thing, and especially when I was going to Germany last year, And I mean, I got responses, but it was like almost like it is here. Like if you don't know somebody, or you're not like a local who has a following, and you're not a big name who would sell tickets, then it can be a little difficult. The best DJ experiences I've had internationally have been when, like in Colombia earlier this year, my friend's fiance, we're like at this tiny little bar with a DJ playing, and she'd just go up to the DJ, hey, my friends are DJs, like, can they join you? And I'm like, it's a little embarrassing, but like these other cultures, especially in like South America, are so excited. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And we like just go B2B with them and throw down, and it's super fun. Or I was in Ecuador a few years back, and we ended up in this tiny little town because a friend's brother runs the largest nightclub in Ecuador and is like the unofficial mayor and king of this town. Brought us in his inner circle. I sent him some stuff. He's like, yeah, let's have you play tonight. And I'm like, okay, you know, so like those random occurrences, Thailand on the beach as well, you know, like, yeah, those are the most fun, honestly, because they're spur of the moment, you know. But that's awesome. And do you field out of town offers generally, or?
I've had a few. I mean, like there was a couple, like there was one in LA that I was like, that doesn't really fit me. Yeah. And I'm not going to go out there for that, you know? And there was one I got when I was in New York once that would have been really good, but my dad was sick and I didn't, I just didn't want to do that. So
I love how selective you are.
But I think I say no to a lot more than I say yes to.
That scarcity is people want you more.
Yeah, one time I was offered one at Miami Music Week, but it was like super put together last minute. It sounded like kind of like a cluster, and I was like, you know, I don't think I want to deal with this.
The Miami Music Week parties and like all these DJs trying to get on a lineup, and I'm like, it's in some fucking back alley at some little like bar, and it's like, okay, you can say you played Miami Music Week, but is it really worth the squeeze? You know,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really like. It's not about just saying I did it. It's kind of like a quality thing at this point.
Right.
Like,
no, for sure.
I'm telling you, like, it causes so much anxiety to get up there. Sometimes it better be good. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So. Well, I think we've reached the point that I will let you go because you you got to go do your thing. Unfortunately, I don't think people are going to hear this until after your set, but what's coming up for you? What should people be aware of? NotMeghan, ADE in Amsterdam in less than 2 weeks. Anything else on the calendar coming up?
No.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not accepting gigs until next year.
All right.
I told myself I was going to give myself the rest of the
You can
year.
send them my way.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just forward the emails.
Forward me the emails. Yeah.
I mean, if something big comes up, fine. But honestly, You got
a TikTok to run.
Yeah. This has been like fun. But I just, yeah.
I love that.
I think I really, there's a few like productions I'm like half done with, and I'd rather focus on that.
Finish them.
So
finish them.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think I'm going to accept anything else for the rest of the year.
Great.
So
great. Well, everybody listening, this has been Meghan and NotMeghan at the same time. And like I said, I'm so honored.
It's like Schrodinger's cat.
Thank you for coming all the way out here, especially on gig day.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving your time. Thanks for telling your stories. I can only imagine you've inspired a lot of other people out there. And just, I think like my takeaway from this is just the power in no, and the power in being selective, and the power in just being really professional. That's what I really admire about you, among other things. So thank you so much for Meghan. I think, so usually I like to smile at the camera so we can take a photo, but I think you're looking,
let's just smile at two cameras
and
we'll
way, and
Photoshop ourselves together.
And then, I don't know, 3, 2, 1, smile. Yeah. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Post-production.
Yeah, edit that
out. And I'm going to wait, I want you to hit a random button here. Wait. Yeah.
That was what I was going
This has been NotMeghan and the Racket House Podcast, episode 20. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Peace. Woo! Bye, 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 bye.